What's happening, family? Dr. Joe here. Hope each of you are well and blessed. You see, we have another transformation lab. Shout out to LaWanda Baskerville. She writes, and I quote, "My journey has started slow, but after I adjusted my workout habits, it made a big difference in how much I was losing. Small adjustments matter, and this journey has taught me well. My biggest motivation was me. Hashtag 36 pounds down." Shout out to LaWanda. She looks great. She looks amazing in both her before and after, but even better in the after because she's a different person. All right, she goes from 246 to 210, and she's going to be a graduate actually. They graduate this upcoming Sunday, April the 23rd at 6 p.m. So she will be a new lioness, a part of our village. Shout out to her. And you can see how quickly she was able to hit 36 pounds. All right, now, what's the key to this particular transformational lab? That is the all-time famous quote by the great Greek philosopher Socrates, who said, "Know thyself is the beginning of wisdom." To know thyself is the beginning of wisdom. And this is what's important. And this is why transformation is such a spiritual type of process. Weight loss is spiritual. And the reason why it's spiritual is because the actual habits, mentality, and control that one must have to lose 1 pound, 5 pounds, 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 100 pounds are the non-tangible internal spiritual things that result in weight loss. So when people see a person who's lost weight, they're so drawn to it, and they want that for themselves, but they're not understanding the nuances spiritually that happen in order to manifest those things. Now let's talk about a couple of the non-spiritual things that is required for results like LaWanda Baskerville. Okay. All right. Number one is when you're going through a process like this, you have to know what works. One of the biggest demotivators of weight loss or trying to change yourself is when you're not getting results. Most people will try diet after diet after diet after diet after diet with no guidance, no understanding. They're trying to follow a program. They're paying, for someone's book. They're paying for a class. They may be, and some things work better than others. You may be working with a coach, which is giving you constant feedback, but that's still one-dimensional. If you don't have a program or a profile or some type of guidance with context and education and accountability, it's going to be very, very difficult for people to achieve that. So you have to figure out what works. There are a lot of people who are vegans, and the vegan lifestyle is completely antithetical to your genetic ancestral predispositions. Meaning what? All of us are not going to thrive on a vegan diet. All of us are not going to thrive on a vegetarian diet. All of us are not going to thrive on a fruitarian diet. All of us are not going to thrive on a meat-only diet, because all of us have different genes and they express themselves. You may be an African-American person where the majority of your blood comes from African Americans or Africans. But we in Africa, we in the West, and in many, especially in the United States, we have a lot of blood within us that is different from Africans. We've got Native American blood. We have blood from some of our ancestors who may have been Caucasians or interbreeding or slavery or whatnot. And just because when you look at me, I'm a black male does not mean that in every single element of my genetic expression that my genes are expressing themselves through the dominance of the African genes that make up me. Perhaps there are nuances of the different bloodlines that I have of different ethnic groups. So that's why, it's not one size fits all. You have to figure out what works for you. And the way you know what works for you is something that gets you continual results, something that's helping you to improve blood markers, i.e. A1C, fasted glucose, lipid panels, blood pressure, waist circumference, overall well-being. So you got to figure out what works. All right. The second thing that you have to figure out is what type of metabolism do you have? All right. Once again, you see a lot of people who are watching, Instagram, Facebook. Everybody wants to juice. Everybody wants to juice. Juicing is not good for everyone. If you are metabolically compromised, meaning what? If you are a diabetic or a pre-diabetic, juicing is something that you need to avoid. You have to reverse and improve your metabolic position. You have to increase insulin sensitivity. You have to decrease insulin resistance. And then later on, you can get into that, because it's not a one size fits all. You're seeing all these athletes, you're seeing all these people who are juicing, telling you that you need to juice. Juicing isn't for everyone. If you are metabolically compromised, having any type of juice absent of fiber with a lot of simple sugars that come from juice is going to be nefarious for your health. So you have to understand where you are metabolically. You have to understand, how efficient am I at breaking down carbohydrates? How efficient am I at breaking down fats? These are all the things that people are taught when they come through the turn up, when they come through when they have this journey life. All right. The last thing is the spiritual element. I want to do two things that weren't spiritual. One that is spiritual in terms of in the same moniker of know thyself. And that is, you have to understand how to, and I wrote this down, how do I train my mentality to understand and overcome temptations that appeal to my emotions? This is the trap that people sabotage themselves in. This is what manifests emotional eating. This is what causes people to fall off the wagon. You have to be mentally aware. You have to be spiritually aware enough in order to exercise mental discipline in the moments where spirits and strongholds are appealing to your emotions. Those things that are that the stress factors that are causing you to want to eat, the stress factors that are causing you to want to have the sugar, to want to eat the fried foods, to want to do the things that you know are not good for you. These are all things that you have to work on during the process. You got to hold on to them. That way you can be anywhere in the world, any stage of your life. You can have something bad happen to you and be aware of where you are and to understand, hey, these feelings that are appealing to my emotions, that are trying to get me to make this temporary type of decision that leads to my permanent negative results, is something that I do not want to do. I have to be aware of that, and I have to arrest. I have to know what that is. I have to exercise my mental abilities to do what I want to do to improve the future of my life in order that I can manifest the destiny that I want. And I'm not living life, at a crap table through luck. All right. So when she says, small adjustments matter, and this journey has taught me well. She started off, LaWanda, not getting the results that she wanted. She made the adjustments. How was she able to make the adjustments? Because she had to be She had to be aware of what was going on in order to make changes, exercise mental discipline. All right. And then move in the capacity that she wanted to, despite what she wanted to do in the moment. That's spiritual. All right. And that's the reason why this process is powerful. Salute to LaWanda. Salute to all of our soon to be new graduates. Keep on keeping on, 36 pounds down. And it looks like she will continue to rob the bank. Until the next one, be well, be blessed. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.